So The Last of Us is now in the news, and it's not in the news for good reason. We have an example of, yet again, Hollywood trying to push its own agenda onto people, tell them that it's normal, but in the same breath, try to tell them that the only way they're going to watch it is by tricking them. So if something is normal, you shouldn't have to trick someone into watching it or experiencing it. They should want to watch it or experience it on their own, shouldn't they? But no, unfortunately, when it comes to Hollywood, their idea is to have to trick people into watching certain things that they want them to watch because they know otherwise most people will probably tune out if they saw that that was in the show or the movie. Now we have The Last of Us, which apparently the director just recently admitted that he tricked the audiences to push his own personal gay agenda and storylines that are in the actual TV show. Now here's my disagreement that I'm going to make public before we get into the video. I want to make something very clear. As a fan of The Last of Us, okay, me personally, I completely and fully 100,000,000,000% aware that Bill and Frank are gay in the game. I am also aware that Ellie and Riley are gay in the game as well. That doesn't change the fact that the way they portrayed the storylines from the game into the TV show were completely different. And the reason why they were different is because they know they did not want to show on a mass scale like a TV show such a terrible LGBTQ relationship, because in the original game, Bill and Frank couldn't stand each other, more so Frank than Bill. Frank could not stand Bill in the slightest and honestly hated his guts. And they needed to show a positive LGBTQ representation. So in order to do that, they had to put this show out there, and his entire third episode is completely different from how it took place in the game. Honestly, that entire third episode didn't even take place in the game. It was completely made up for the most part. So that's my personal issue that I have with that episode. Not only that, it lives in its own vacuum. That episode throughout the entire Last of Us TV show serves no purpose. There was no reason for that episode to exist. I've said it time and time again, that poor excuse that, oh, Bill and Frank's death was so impactful to Joel that is the reason why he had to go take Ellie on her journey. I'm like, no, Tess's sacrifice that he actually openly admits to in episode 6, if you guys pay attention, Tess's sacrifice was all he needed to make sure that he took Ellie to her destination and saw it through. So Bill and Frank again served literally no purpose. But of course, you're going to have people who show for diversity, show for all this other nonsense, who are all going to focus on them being gay. And that's what they want. They want you to focus on these characters being gay. They want you to make that the focal point because they want to make sure that even though the episode didn't make any sense in terms of the overall storyline, didn't make sense to any terms of progression for the storyline, they knew that they can get away with this simply because they put two gay characters on screen and people were going to eat it up. And those of you out there who didn't enjoy it, who are too afraid to publicly say you didn't enjoy it because you don't want to be called homophobic, well, guess what? There's a lot of people out there who hated that particular episode, and for good reasons. And it has nothing to do with the characters being gay because, like I said, I fully was expecting and I was ready for me to see a super gay episode because everybody knows Bill and Frank are gay. So why would I be shocked to see two gay men on screen? It's the method of which they delivered that is the problem. But anyway, that's what I wanted to get out earlier in the video, because I know some people who watch my video out of hate, they click off right away the moment I say anything against their ideology. They're like, oh, I gotta talk to you in your comments about how much you're a bigot. It's just really stupid stuff. So it says The Last of Us director admits to tricking audiences to push gay storylines and propaganda. In an interview with Inverse regarding the third episode of the series, Hoar was asked how he approached directing actors Nick Offerman and Murray Bartlett throughout the episode. As part of his answer, Hoar stated, sometimes you have to sort of trick the rest of the world into watching these things before they're like, oh my god, it was two guys, I just realized. I think then they might understand that it's all real, it's just the same love. Again, if it was just the same love, why would you have to trick people into watching it in the first place? This whole idea of, no, it's totally normal, let's normalize this. If you have to normalize something, that means it's not normal at the time of which you're trying to normalize it. So you trying to come out and try to pretend like this is all just normal stuff, guys. It's all good. We're going to just push this story on you, no problem. Even though you have real, actual issues with the TV show, we're just going to blame your criticism on bigotry because that's our easy way out as directors who never want to take fault for the shitty shows that they make. And let me be very clear, too, with this whole thing. I was a huge, and I mean huge, advocate for The Last of Us on HBO Max. When those first couple episodes came out and they were so true to the story and so true to the game, I was loving it. It was a fantastic TV show. And you know what? After the third episode, I I still gave episode 4, 5, and 6 good reviews for the most part. They were good, they were well acted, and everything was good. That third episode, I give a 5 out of 10 because ultimately it was acted well, it was shot well, but it served no purpose to the storyline, and it completely did a disservice to Bill and Frank's original story, especially Bill's story with Ellie that we're never going to get to see now because he decided to go pull a notebook with Frank. So then it says, despite this obvious truth, actress Bella Ramsey revealed the show would continue to push gay, agenda. She told GQ, I know people will think what they want to think, but they're going to have to get used to it. If you don't want to watch a show because it has gay storylines, because it has a trans character, that's on you and you're missing out. If it isn't going to make me afraid, I think that comes from a place of defiance, she added. Her fellow actress Storm Reed also recently told Variety, I think Bella put it perfectly a couple weeks ago. If you don't like it, don't watch it. There's so many other things to worry about in the world. Okay, well, here's the thing. So, number one, that is a death note. You guys understand that? Like when you tell a fan base if you don't like it, don't watch it. History has shown us that is a mega death note to a series. I wouldn't be saying that if I were you, okay? I would not be saying that. But you still have a season 2 that you have to come out with. And if you try to play this game of don't like it, don't watch it, I know of a person, her name is Frosk. You may want to go ask her what happened after she said, if you don't like it, don't watch it. Yeah, I wouldn't talk from that level of so much defiance because ultimately at the end of the day, you're making a TV show for these people. So I don't think that's a good idea. But of course, they're going to do this because their PR teams have told them to do this. Every single time there is either a black character or a gay character or anything of that nature, they all have the same exact story ready to go, ready to be printed, ready to be made, the same article, the same interview, everything is the same because this is their playbook. This is what they do. It says, I think being concerned about who people love is just absurd to me. I will never understand it. I don't get it, she added. That's also simplifying the problem, and I understand she's young. Listen, she's young and stupid. She's not going to really understand from an adult's mindset. Also, she's getting paid to do this, so of course she's going to say whatever she needs to say to keep her money. I get that. I'm not going to take that away from her. She should go get her money all day long. But ultimately, she is simplifying the actual problem that is going on within Hollywood and entertainment as a whole right now. Nobody has a problem with 2 gay characters. Nobody has an issue with the fact that you're trying to talk about gay love and all this. The issue is that, number one, you are forcing it down people's throats nonstop 24/7. It's literally to a point where you come out and talk about your gay agenda all the time. It's directors, showrunners, and everything that talk about it 24/7. I have gay viewers. I know I do because they tell me in their comment section. I have gay viewers. They clearly don't disagree with me all the time if they're still watching me. I have nothing against gay people whatsoever. The problem is that you're using them like you use black people and Hispanics. You use them as shields for criticism against the show because the show itself does have valid criticisms that people have with how the show is portraying itself and how they're handling the story from the video game. There's a lot of issues that people have, and they are very valid. But you are trying to make them not valid by saying, oh, well, you just don't like gay people. It's such a lazy argument. It really is such a lazy argument. It says, to paraphrase another writer, if something is natural and pure, one would not need to trick someone in order to make them believe it. What's more likely the case is that Hoar is just trying to justify his own sinfulness, but at the same time wants to also spread it to others. So again, bounding into comics makes it into a religion thing, and that's fine. That's what they do. But ultimately, at the end of the day, listen, guys, I have no problems with these characters being gay because they were gay in the games. We know this. We've seen this, okay? Neil Cuckman has put this into the games. We know this was coming. We know Abby's coming. We know all of this is coming. But it's how you portray it, and it's how you're changing the storylines to fit the narrative that you want to fit. I didn't watch this episode yet, so I'm not going to speak on this episode. And honestly, since she just told us if we don't like it, don't watch it, I'm very tempted not to watch this and not to review this episode or this TV series anymore, even though I'm a completionist and I really want to do it just so I can get them all out there. But ultimately, I just don't care now at this point. Like if you're gonna go the route of attacking fans, if this is what you really want to do, I kind of want to just give you what you want. You know what I'm saying? Even though I'm a YouTuber, I'm a reviewer, I get the views from this. This is what I do. I just don't feel like I should. At this point, I don't know. You guys can leave a comment down below. Let me know what I should do. But ultimately, I'm just not sure if I should review this TV series anymore. Because once someone says, if you don't like it, don't watch it, I usually want to adhere to their requests. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy. And if you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.